Good evening. My name is Kimberly Putnam. I'm going to talk to you this evening about being a locavore and eating in your circle. So first we'll start with the local food movement. The local food movement is something that began back in the early 1990s as the aging boomer generation began to realize the health damage they'd done with convenience foods of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Under many doctors' recommendations, this generation began to focus more on food transparency, knowing where your food comes from and exactly what's in it when it's packaged. This, as well as celebrity chefs kind of getting on the bandwagon here. Emeril Lagasse began to popularize a regional cuisine of the Cajun area. Mario Batali began to popularize an Italian cuisine, which gave birth to more areas beginning to really harness and to embrace their local heritage and local culture. So who's a locavore? Well, a locavore, as defined by Molly Watson, a local food expert at About.com, a locavore is someone who exclusively or primarily eats foods from their local or regional food shed or determined radius from their home, commonly either 100 or 250 miles, depending on exactly where you are. Some areas will be much smaller with more densely populated areas or access to farm areas. And some will be much wider if you're in a more rural area. So what I chose to do when I'm in Carrollton, Georgia, and I drew myself a 35-mile radius circle. This right here is a navigable distance, 35 miles down to LaGrange, over into Atlanta. But even with 35 miles, if you had to go from this side to this side and back, you're looking at almost a 2-hour trip, which would be not only expensive, but quite an expansive trip. So how do you do this? If you're traveling, like the previous slide said, 100 miles, and I've even narrowed mine down to 35 miles, how would this even be possible to eat from gathering all within this area? This is where farmers markets have come into play. Farmers markets are something very common in most smaller areas. Back in the early 1990s, 1994, the USDA began to track food markets, farmers markets that are registered through the USDA. And as you can see, it's been a steady increase up until 2014, the latest data. There's just over 8,000 farmers markets registered in the United States. That's quite a few markets, and you'll find many of them are very close to you. You can consult the USDA website to help you locate one if you're unsure. So a local farmer market that we have here is the Cotton Mill Market. The Cotton Mill Market is held in Carrollton, Georgia at 401 Rome Street on every Saturday from 8 until 12 during peak growing season, which is typically from April until October. In October, you get into that non-peak season, but there are some farmers that still meet there from 9 to 11:30 throughout the entire year. So you have access to local products year-round. So who are these farmers? Who are these people? And what kind of products are available locally? Many times your mind goes to the roadside stand that just has cantaloupes, watermelons, and maybe some corn. But the modern farmers market is something very, very different. The Cotton Mill Farmers Market mission is to foster land stewardship, good health, and community interaction by creating an outlet for local small farmers and vendors to market locally produced products directly to the consumer. The market will provide a foundation for building partnerships among farmers, agriculturalists, consumers, and the business community. Farmers markets have turned into something very serious. The Gary Farm is one farm that goes to the Cotton Mill Farmers Market every weekend. Jack and Nancy Gary have a farm in Bowden, Georgia, and they offer lettuce, kale, eggplant, squash, corn, peppers, and peas. They also do processed goods, cornmeal, grits, and they also have a commercial kitchen on site where they do baked goods, brownies, cakes, and even gluten-free varieties of these products for everyone to enjoy. Krager Hager Farm is another farm that frequents the Cotton Mill Market every weekend. They have mushrooms, fresh ginger, carrots, apples, Indian corn, a lot of the standard things you see, but also Krager Hager also goes into a niche market with purple carrots, which I'm sure many of you have never even seen. My family absolutely loves them. As well as other heirloom vegetables, which are vegetables that have not been genetically modified. Vegetables that were very similar to the vegetables that were growing here when Christopher Columbus came over and discovered our country. The Krager Hager farm is actually a certified naturally grown farm. A lot of times when you go to these farmers markets, they'll tell you that they're a natural farm. To be certified as an organic farm takes lots and lots of money. It's more of a money issue than a practice issue. Most of the farms at the cotton mill market would, if it were not for money, would be certified organic farms. The Willow Soap Company. I bet you didn't know you could get soap locally. This is Steve. Steve's been doing soap for just over 10 years. He also does lip balms, deodorants, and has about 30 different varieties of soap. You will never get that kind of variety from Procter & Gamble. Steve also does custom blends. If you have 2 scents you really like, you think they'd be great soap, talk to him about it. He'll mix you up a batch and get you some custom soap. Seduth Family Farm is also a farm in Bowden, Georgia. They have handcrafted walking sticks that are absolutely gorgeous works of art, as well as crocheted items for babies as well as adults. Some really beautiful doilies, hats, and booties. Dennis Farm. Just in case you thought you were going to get your meat locally, you can also get local meat. The Dennis Farm has pasture-fed, grass-fed beef, lamb, and pork. You can get your bacon, ham, and ground beef. The beef that they sell here is everything's butchered completely in a USDA and FDA inspected butcher, and it's packaged and frozen. When you go to the market, you'll get all of your products frozen, and that's to ensure your safety as well as the temperature of the product. Blue Heron Pottery is also where I got my coffee mug. I wish I had it here with me today, but I don't. It's a beautiful coffee mug. This picture of it right there on my desk. But Blue Heron Art Studio is an art studio here in Carrollton, Georgia, where she does many, many different things, from jewelry to coffee mugs to plates, as well as other bowls and serviceware. Capragia Cheese. You can also get cheese. Capragia does goat's milk cheese. They do flavored cheese as well as feta cheeses. All these are available and come in small containers, exactly like you would see at the grocery store. So local markets not only help you to broaden the variety of things in your diet, as well as bring you closer to a natural, more organic diet, it also brings with it so many other things. Music that you would probably not hear on the radio. Friendships. This is actually a watermelon seed spitting contest that was held at our farmers market. And this is actually the local potter that was